Tam, joined by my lovely co-host, Erin.
Hi.
We're here to talk about Erin's hobby today, which is acoustic guitar, right?
That's right.
Not electric?
Correct.
Dang it.
I did acoustic guitar. I heard that was a little easier to start trying to learn.
Awesome.
So it's a little lighter. And
Do you have a guitar lying around, or did you have to borrow from
I
somebody?
don't have a guitar lying around. I did borrow, my brother-in-law is pretty into music. So I ended up borrowing one of his. He was kind enough to let me have it for a little while. So
Nice.
I've been, working on it I stuck with it for about 8 weeks, so I haven't, talked too much about it.
No,
yet.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So it has gone okay.
All right, I'm dying to know.
I have kind of, I really, really was motivated at the beginning, and I've always wanted to play a musical instrument. I've always kind of admired people that are into music. I think it's a really cool thing to be able to share with people and get into. And,
sure.
I imagine being able to play a full song and I think that'd be really fun to rock out.
Right.
However, it is not as easy as it looks. Your husband being a musician, I'm sure you can see a lot of that.
Yes, as you can see, anybody who follows us on our socials can see that I always have a guitar behind me, and that's just because guitars are literally on every inch of my house.
I came over here and I was like, oh, do you don't have a guitar around here by any chance, do you, Pat? Oh, I have 8 of them, actually.
Everywhere. They hang from walls, corners.
So anyway, I was inspired. I just, I kind of was thinking between a guitar or piano, and I was like, well, let's do guitar. It's a little easier to get a guitar.
For sure.
And it's more portable.
Oh, yeah.
And so there's this company called School of Rock in where I live. Have you ever heard of that?
No. I know the movie with Jack Black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it might be based off something like that, from that. But I think it's a corporation, a chain. However, they do lots of music classes. So they had a free intro class. So I really put myself out there, because I usually don't just go to something like that. It's really intimidating for me to just go to something I don't know anybody or know anything. And so I signed up for this free class. And honestly, I left almost in tears.
No.
Yeah. It was just some young kid who was he was clearly very skilled at guitar, had no patience for me.
Oh, no.
He's probably 18, and I'm this almost 40-year-old woman, I want to learn to play the guitar.
Wait. Did you go in with a song in mind to learn?
No,
or was
it was an intro class, so I just assumed they would just start with the basics, teach me what the parts of the guitar, how to sit with the guitar.
The anatomy of it, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of, maybe teach me a couple little, chords. I don't know.
Have you ever seen the episode of Friends where Phoebe is trying to teach Joey how to play guitar?
No. Does that sound familiar?
I love it, because it's there's this whole scene where she's like, if you want to learn how to play guitar, don't touch the guitar. And she doesn't know the names of any of the chords or anything like that. So she's like, old lady, and he's got to
Oh, that's hilarious. No, I haven't seen that.
So I'm trying to picture you going in there, and you've got this young gentleman trying to teach you. Did he teach you the parts of the guitar?
No, not at all. I ended up having to. He was like, oh, try this, making all this whole long chord of, and I was just like, wait, slow down, dude. I had to literally be like, dude, stop. I know nothing. Can you just tell me what the names of the, strings are? I don't know. Because I knew nothing. And so by the end, I was so frustrated. I was like, I don't know if I want to even do this.
Right. And
so I left. And normally I think at that point I would have quit, honestly.
Yeah.
However, in the spirit of wanting to try new things, I was like, I'm going to keep going. So I started asking around, and eventually found a private instructor. Okay. And that ended up being a lot better. Okay. So I found a private instructor, and I went weekly for about probably 8 weeks. Oh, wow. And so he taught me. He started from the very basics, and I was very honest with him about my experience, and he was very kind and took it slow. And each week he gave me lessons, very small lessons to work on. Okay. And so that work was much more my speed. So that was good. Okay. It gave me more confidence. So, and then in addition to that, I found an app on my phone that was really helpful. It was called Simply Guitar app. Okay. And so I highly recommend that. That was nice. It had visuals of where to put your fingers, and
that's
very,
nice.
broken down songs, very basic songs, but that are popular songs. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that helped those two things really helped me.
That's great.
So yeah, that was good.
Okay.
And, yeah.
And now when he was giving you like little like take home like homework assignments essentially, was it just like learning specific chords, or was it learning like, was your project a song and you just had to learn portions of that song? Like how
it was more taking very short chords from known songs, you know. So he would, and then he gave me the paper and he was like, just keep doing this over and over again. And he gave me some good advice. You know, he's like, you don't want to practice at first more than 30 minutes a day. Like you'll get burnt out and you'll get tired. And I didn't realize that, I mean, it really is like muscle, not only muscle memory, which I kind of expected that, but also like your fingers hurt.
I was just going to ask, does it hurt to like push on those metal? Like I try to fiddle around with some of the guitars sometimes. And honestly, like my tips of my fingers are sore.
Yes. Yeah. They do. And I was surprised how much it hurt and I was surprised at how hard you actually have to push to get the right, you know.
Oh, like you have to push down like really hard.
Pretty hard, some of them, and you know, to get everything to hold right. And so I was surprised by that. And then just the positioning of your posture and how you hold the guitar and all this. There's all these. It's just totally foreign, you know?
I love it.
Yeah, so it was interesting. I learned a lot about that, and I have a new appreciation for guitar players.
So what about, like, you know, you're a dentist.
Yes.
So you're already kind of like hunched over and working with your fingers in people's mouths. So I feel like guitar, especially acoustic, you're kind of hunched over.
That's true.
You're kind of working with your fingers.
Yeah.
Do you feel like any of that soreness from the guitar? Like, did you feel that when you were working on your patients in the day? Did it carry on into work?
You know, I probably would have, because when I first started, I definitely had bad posture, so it did kind of hurt your neck and stuff. But then the teacher was very adamant. He said that was one of the most important basics to learn was the right posture, so that you don't hurt yourself and like get sore like that. So I think because of that, it was okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I wouldn't have considered posture like that being such a extreme part of learning how to do the guitar in the beginning there.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you learned your parts.
Yeah.
You're doing all this whole thing, okay. What eventually made you, because it kind of sounds like you stopped after 3 weeks.
Yeah, I did end up, I was really trying to stick with it, and I was pretty good. I was practicing every day, for like 20 minutes. That was kind of my goal every day for like I said, like 8 weeks, and I started to learn some basic songs, like not the whole thing, but parts of them. And that was kind of cool. But then it just got, I was trying to do it like after the kids went to bed because I felt like I didn't want to take time with them. Or if I tried to do it when they were around, obviously they're over there like bothering me.
They want to play with you.
They either want to come over and play with you, or they want to like yell at you and, Mom, give me a snack. Like, oh my gosh. So it was a little, I thought it would, I don't know. I guess I thought that the learning curve wouldn't have been so large and I could just like sit down and play and relax.
Just fiddle around with it.
Yeah, exactly. And it just didn't end up to being that simple.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if you play longer, eventually it gets to the point where you can just kind of sit down and dabble in it. But
no, I agree, because like to your point, so like I feel like I can understand where you're coming from, because Pat obviously is a very talented 7-string guitar musician, and I've only known him at his level of like
skill.
I mean he's amazing at it, right?
Yep.
So like when he picks up a guitar, that's why he has them hanging from walls, right? Like he'll just pick them up and he'll play with the girls with it. Like he'll have them play some chords. Like he'll put I don't know the terminology.
Yeah.
I just pretend.
Yeah.
But like he'll have his hand on, I guess, the right note and then have them strum it, And so it's easier, I could see, for him to kind of involve the kids in it, because there's no stress of like, I'm trying to learn here, right? Like he's there.
Yes.
So for him, it's like, let's play together with this guitar and maybe like sing songs together, or like, he's got songs kind of like mentally locked up there that he can just pull out and just go for it. Whereas like you're somebody who's really trying to like just learn it yourself.
Right.
I could see how having the kids around when you're trying to really focus and try to develop a skill set could really be tough to find a way to make that learn together scenario with the kids, as opposed to like just let me focus.
Definitely.
Right?
I feel like learning with the kids it's not really a skill. I mean, for me at least, because I do feel like I had to really focus, because not only are you trying to get your fingers in the right position and strum correctly, and then coordinate those movements.
Right.
Like doing all that is actually, you do have to focus a lot.
Right.
So yeah, I definitely think it's difficult with little kids.
I bet, because you have to really like focus, like you said, on not only just like on your hands, you're focusing like on trying to picture, I'm sure visually the notes.
Yes.
You're trying to focus on your posture, whereas Pat doesn't have, like,
Right.
those are natural to him now, right? So like he can just be like, here, let's go. Where you're like, hold on, just one more second. I almost had that note.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
figure it out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I could see how that could be stressful.
You know, I think I could see myself picking it back up again. You know, I think when I started, I thought, I could go to these lessons once a week and maybe that'd be enough, but it's really not. Like, you kind of do have to do the practice in between and everything. And maybe I put too much pressure on myself. Like, I was like trying to practice every day and like really wanting to learn something so that I could actually use it, you know?
Yeah.
I just never could get over that hump.
Oh, okay.
And so I finally just abandoned it a little bit, you know, and I think, maybe when the kids are older, I could come back to it. And I do feel good that now I have a little bit of musical knowledge. I do understand a little more about that. I'm very interested in still learning to play an instrument.
I was just going to ask, do you think that like crushed you from wanting to do a musical instrument?
No,
or do you think that
I don't think so.
You'll still kind of find a musical instrument?
Yeah, I think I still am interested in doing that. I you know, in the back of my mind, like I said at the beginning, I was kind of torn between guitar and piano. Yeah. So I might do the piano. I don't know where I'm going to get a piano.
Keyboard
for sure. Keyboard. So if anybody has a free keyboard out there.
Actually, Erin, you won't believe what I have in store for
stop
you.
Stop it.
We have a keyboard.
No way. Oh my gosh.
Well, okay,
that's amazing.
So what do you think that so you've learned some lessons with guitar. Yeah. What do you think you could bring differently into potentially learning piano if you ever decide to go down that route?
You know, one thing, I think it's because when I was a kid, I did take some piano lessons. So I
great.
have a tiny bit of knowledge and remembering that. And so I have a slight more confidence. And I guess, like, to me, it seems like it might not be as physically challenging to sit down and play piano. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah.
I know it'll be similar, that I'll need to, like, dedicate time to it. However, it just seems physically, maybe it'll be a little easier. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that fear's not there because you have like a little bit of it back in there. So you're like, I'll just like ride a bike. I'll just pick it up.
Maybe. I mean, I was never very good, but yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I remember all of my kids or all my friends in grade school, like all could play like The Little Mermaid on the piano. And I've never been a piano player or played piano. And I'm just like, I want to learn how to play The Little Mermaid on the piano. I might join you on that journey. Yeah, I
know. It's so hard because you want to get to the end result. Like, you want to be able to just, like, do those things. I mean, I guess it's like any hobby. You want to be good at it. But, it's getting over, just enjoying the journey, right?
How long do you think, and we might have to do an episode about this, but I'm very curious, like, how long does somebody need to be in a hobby before they can just sit down and go, right? Where, like, you don't have to think so hard about it or be so locked in on it.
I mean, I'm sure it's very dependent on the activity.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, like, your bird watching, I think that probably doesn't take as much focus and skill, you know.
Not the way that I did it, which was just sitting outside with a glass of champagne or coffee.
But if you want to be an expert at anything, I mean, I would imagine a long time, right? But that's not the point of a hobby, right? To be an expert at it. It's to just find something you enjoy.
Yeah, you're right.
So, and I guess, like, when it came down to it, I didn't enjoy the guitar playing at this point in my life. I could still see myself enjoying it later in life. When the kids are just older and not bothering me all the time.
Okay, so let's go through like our art of hobbiness scale that we usually do. So, like, as far as engagement, how would you rank from like 1 to 5 how absorbed you were in the activity when you were doing it?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very focused.
It sounds like you had to be because it's like a full body situation there.
Definitely.
Like everything you had to worry about. What about enjoyment? How much pleasure or satisfaction did you get?
You know, I guess I would give it a 4 because I feel like when I finally I did start picking up some of it and that felt good.
Yeah? You should. I honestly think you really should feel proud of yourself. For 8 weeks is a long time to be dedicated to something, and spending 20 minutes every day doing that. I literally, Erin, I can't think of a single thing that I've done. I mean, I'm going to say even in the last 5 years. Yeah. For 20 minutes a day for 8 weeks. I don't know what that says about me. But I hear you say it, and I'm like, maybe I should try to find something.
I mean, that's probably the one thing I can say I've done like that. I don't know. I was really motivated for some reason.
I'm so impressed by you, honestly.
Thank you.
Okay, what about skill development? Do you feel like you learned some
Definitely.
skills?
I think it's a high skill development. I would rank it high. You know, I didn't get to the point I wanted to get to, but I definitely learned a lot of new skills. So 5. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think those skills will translate over into any other hobbies that you do, like maybe piano?
I would imagine they would translate to other musical instruments at least, like just knowing more about reading music because that was not something I knew.
Oh, I didn't even think to ask about that.
Yeah.
Like the reading music part. Did you know how to read music?
No, not at all. So that was the other hump,
Oh,
so
yeah.
all of that.
Okay, so
he would the teacher would show me like sheets of music, and I was like, "Slow down, buddy." I didn't even know.
He was like, "Oh wait, we got to start at the way back."
Yeah, totally.
So it wasn't like you were playing the music you weren't able to replicate what you heard. You had to actually learn the music in order to be able to play the music. Do you feel like you could say that you know how to read music now?
No, I mean, I never got to the point. I mean, I think I just understand it better. I'd have to do a refresher. Okay. I think I was starting to. Okay. But barely.
All right. I didn't even consider that, reading music. What was it?
Like a foreign language.
It is. Yeah. I'm trying to remember in grade school, it was like FACE. The spaces are easy.
I don't know that.
You don't remember that? Oh, God. That's embarrassing.
I'm sorry.
Social interaction. How much opportunity did you get to
none
meet people?
Very little for me. I didn't. Other than going to with the teacher or with the tutor, so very little in that regard. I didn't get to the point where it became social.
Did you like the fact that it was kind of like a solo?
No, I think I didn't like that. I felt like it would have been nice to be with other people because it was, it was very isolating. Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Well, it sounds like what you should have done is join a band.
Maybe.
I think
just gone all in. Yeah,
just go right in.
Who wants me?
Who's looking for a new acoustic guitar artist? Because I'm your gal.
I do think that would be that would be a lot more fun.
I love it.
And stressful. So low on that one, I would suppose,
Oh, well, so then the next question is stress relief. How do you feel like your stresses were? Do you feel like it effectively helped you relax?
No. I mean, it was like work in some ways because really trying to learn it. So, low there too. So overall,
did you feel relaxed after doing it? Or did you feel...
relaxed wouldn't be the right word. No. Just felt like accomplished, like I did something,
I like that though. I like hearing that you were accomplished after it.
So, overall, guitar playing was probably, I don't know what that, somewhere around 3 out of 5 for me.
I don't know. I lost track. I'm not doing math over here.
At this point in my life,
Okay. Yep. Well, so do you have an idea of what your next hobby is going to be?
I may consider the piano.
Really?
Yeah. If you really do have a keyboard, I would.
I really have a keyboard. Okay. I would love for you to learn on.
That would be amazing.
So I could someday sell it when you're a big time piano star. Right. I can be like, this was the keyboard.
Yeah. So I may just transition to that and see how that goes.
That's great. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I think we've got your next hobby lined up. So tune in for our next episode, which will air sometime in the near future. Yep. Not next week.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today on The Art of Hobbiness.
Yes, bye. Thanks for listening to The Art of Hobbiness. Be sure to leave a review and rating. And for a little extra Erin and Tam fun, be sure to follow us on Instagram and Pinterest for behind-the-scenes footage of our journey to find hobbiness.